This 7? Yeah. Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to this English Live on Bridges of Light International. We are going to be spending 1 hour together. It's Saturday afternoon. Yes, we're on. Good, I can see a number. So we're going to wait a few more moments for people to join in. In the meantime, I'd like to thank you very much. You that you are right here, right now, live with us. And thank you to the lovely flies that keep me company. There's so many here. It's incredible. So, and thank you to you that you're going to be watching this later on this evening or tomorrow or whenever it is. Hello, Honag. Not sure I'm pronouncing your name okay, but hey Honag, welcome. Always look forward to. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad about it. Thank you for letting me know. And as always, I would love if you would ask questions, share comments, because you see the beauty of the live is because they are live, and I come more alive if I interact with you. If nobody interacts with me, well, I would still do it, of course, but it's not the same thing. Oh, I can even do something while I interact with you. I didn't know that. Okay, now, this evening we are going to, oh, thank you, I pronounced it perfectly, thank you. Hello, Julia, welcome. This evening we are going to be talking about something that I am very passionate about. It's something that I've created, and it's called the WellBeing formula, or sometimes I like to call it the WellBeing recipe, as if we were cooking, or the WellBeing prescription even. It is made of 10 points that if adhered to, basically if these 10 points are put into practice, I am absolutely certain that our life is going to be of a higher quality of how it would be if we didn't put these 10 points into practice. Some of them, they're almost very simple, very natural. Sometimes we do that, we put them into action, sometimes we don't. Some other ones, maybe they're a little bit more or less intuitive, but we are going through all of them one by one, and I'm going to guide you through. And if you have any questions, any comments, please do it. Because as I say, I could stop talking and talking and talking, but I never really know if what I say is of interest to you unless you let me know or you ask me questions. If you go, for example, on YouTube, if at the end, by the way, at the end of the live, I will be putting the 10 points of the WellBeing formula in a message. Although, if you wanted to, if you go on YouTube, on my channel, you would find there's a video called the WellBeing recipe, where you can, well, it's a very short video where I basically mention the 10 points. And also, if you could, if you leave your email address, you can download the PDF with the 10 points. Hello, Ilaria. Thank you so much for saying hello. Thanks very much. And by the way, I don't know if she is here or not, but maybe lovely Evelyn could be joining me. But I don't know, it's always a question mark. But I always tell her that if she sees me on and she says hello, that's beautiful. And if she sees me during my life and she says hello, and if she wants to pop in, that's absolutely wonderful. So watch this space. Evelyn might be joining us or not. So, what are these 10 steps? I'm going to mention them one by one, from the first one to the 10th one, to the last one. And then we go through them slowly, and I will explain you exactly how to put them into practice, and also why I created them, why I feel they can be useful and improve your life. The first point is the following. Choose and declare now to yourself that your emotional serenity and your physical well-being are the most important things. That's point number one. Point number two, train yourself to be as present as possible, focusing on what you perceive with your physical senses. Point number three, listen and observe others in life as if it was the first and the last time you are doing it. Step number four, do everything intentionally, without expectations, just for the pleasure of doing it. Step number five, learn how to discern and stop judging. Step or point six, number six, be the source of what you would like to receive from others. Step or point, call it as you want. Number seven, ask yourself questions without thinking you have to know the answers. You will find them. Point number eight, cultivate gratitude. You will always have what you need. Point number nine, remember that others meet you mainly to be recognized. Point number 10, cultivate interests, things that you love doing and that satisfy you. Simple, isn't it? Now, let's go through each one of the 10 points. And let me tell you why I believe that if we implement them, the quality of our life is going to increase. The first step, love 6, 7, 9, 10 points. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Natasha. Thank you. This is when I come alive. Thanks. When I see that you heard me and what you feel about or think about what I said. Thank you. You love 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, or you love be the source of what you like to receive from others. Ask yourself questions without thinking you know the answers. You will find them. 9 is remember that others meet you primarily to be recognized. And 10 is cultivate interest, something you love doing that satisfies you. Thank you. Thanks. Now, let's start with the first one. You know why the first one to me is the first one, why I wanted it to be the foundation of all the other ones, is because I have noticed that often, not always, but often people in life, they suffer, they are not feeling good in themselves because they haven't made this first simple choice, which is the first step, is to declare and decide and choose that their emotional serenity and their physical well-being are the most important things. You know, some people, they have everything needed to live happily and joyfully. They're quite healthy, they have families, they have friends, they have good job. Although they have not decided what to give priority to. And if we don't decide intentionally what is important to us, sometimes we may believe, which is okay, we may believe that our job is we give most important to our job, to maybe a relationship, to maybe the study we are doing, maybe an opinion we have about something. In other words, many things, but maybe we don't even focus on what I personally, by the way, everything I say is nothing more or less than my opinion. But sometimes we don't give importance to what is fundamental, which is our emotional serenity and our physical well-being. You see, when we strive, when we do everything is possible to be at least a serene state of being, in a serene state of being and physically healthy, everything else comes to us almost effortlessly. And even if it doesn't come effortlessly, what comes effortlessly, there are the ideas of how to achieve what we like to achieve. But unless we are in a state of serenity and open, and we vibrate at a state of peace, and of course we are physically healthy, it's very unlikely that we can live joyfully, and it's very unlikely that we understand what we want to do in life. Honak says, I'm asking questions and I have decided to let those worries go. Oh, fantastic. You're referring to point number 7. Ask yourself questions without believing you have to know the answer. That's a powerful thing you have been doing. In fact, our wisdom, our own, really own true power lies in asking the right, in the sense, the appropriate questions. The answers, they will arrive. Life will give us all we need. It is important, though, that we ask the questions that we feel passionate about. Otherwise, life can't give us what we need. So we are the game starter, so to speak. We are a localized expression of the all. That's why also I called it, if you notice, the title is The Well-Being with a capital B, because I start from the principle, from the hypothesis that we are human, and by human I mean our conditioned, trained, educated, cultural part, which is inherent to the mind, to the ego, to our culture. And also we are being, we're human being, and our being, I regard it as being our essence, our true potentiality. I actually call it infinite potentiality, because it's pure energy, pure consciousness that is having now a localized human experience. So, but for the being to fully express itself, well, these 10 points, these 10 steps, I believe that they can help the being to fully express itself authentically in this life. Hello, Mariella. Welcome. Great to see you here. Natasha says, you're absolutely right. I have just met my number one thanks to lockdown. I have learned more about myself. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sharing you're doing, Natasha. Yes, you have actually you've seen the gift in the challenge. You have used the lockdown to understand and see what your priority is, which I believe it is your emotional serenity and your physical well-being. And you learn more about yourself. Fantastic. Thank you. Hello, Anna Rosa. Hello. So yes, it's important that we make a choice, that we know what we give importance to, because our mind, it's like a goal-thriving mechanism. It's like it works. It's just an analogy, but it gives the idea. It works almost like the search engine of Google, of YouTube, or whatever. When you put the goal and then she searches for whatever you want to get to. So in other words, if I give importance to success or to fame or to prestige, nothing wrong with that, but maybe that's what I will have, but maybe to the expenses of my inner peace, of my emotional serenity, and maybe even my health. That's why if I make my focal point at the beginning, then we can build on it, of course. It doesn't mean one thing doesn't exclude the other. In other words, it doesn't mean that because I choose that my serenity and my physical well-being are the most important thing, doesn't mean that everything else cannot come into my life and be important, of course. But it's more likely that even fame and success and prestige and money and wealth, whatever else I might have it, will come more easily in an effortless way if first and foremost I choose and declare that my emotional serenity and my physical well-being are the first thing, the most important thing for me. Then let's consider the second step, which is train yourself to be as present as possible, focusing on what you perceive with your physical senses. Hello, Alessandra, welcome. What do I mean by that? I mean, and we can do it right here, right now. You don't need to do anything else from what you're already doing, but simply intentionally give, and there's a reason why I say give more energy to whatever you're perceiving with your senses. In other words, give more energy to what you perceive with your eyes. Look at something like as if you were really hungry for getting in the images. Like I'm doing it now, and it's a very subtle shift, but there is. I'm looking at the camera and I'm really taking in everything visually. And while you do that, also take notice, pay attention to what is at the periphery of your visual field, things that you're not focusing upon, but they're there. Like I'm looking at the camera, but I'm noticing also there's a phone, there's a glass, there's a bottle, there's two lights. While you do that, give more energy to what you're perceiving with your ears. Most certainly you're listening to my voice, although there may be other sounds. Like here, now that I'm telling you this, I can hear the buzzing of something electrical in this room. I can hear sometimes dogs barking outside. Then, while you keep doing this, give also more energy to what you perceive with your body. Take notice to the floor your feet are lying on. Magically, I guess, a chair has appeared underneath your bum. It's always been there. But unless you choose to notice it, it's as if it wasn't there. Then, while you keep doing all this, also give more energy to what you perceive with your mouth. Do you have any flavors in your mouth? Any tastes? Can you smell anything? And then give more energy to your inner body. Can you feel anything inside? Can you feel your body vibrating? You see, our body has got a finite amount of energy. And unless we choose intentionally where to distribute this energy, and here I'm inviting you to distribute it to what you perceive with your senses, normally this energy is going into our head and is thinking about something we've done 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes ago, yesterday, the day before yesterday, an argument we had. Or maybe it's making movies about something that we will be doing, it's projecting itself, or is judging something we are looking at. But maybe we are not as present as we could be. I guess everybody is being in the situation here where you've been so worried, so anxious. Hey, Marina, welcome. Hello, Evelyn. Good to see you. Maybe you've been so anxious, so worried that you could hardly focus on what was in front of you, simply because the finite amount of energy was being utilized by your cognitive thinking ability, and you had no energy to distribute to your senses. So what we're doing now is the opposite. You decide that you want to give energy to what you perceive with your senses. You have been probably in the situation when you were taken by the beauty of a sunset, or you're looking at a baby or a dog in their eyes, and you felt so present that the time almost stopped. There was you and this image or this being in front of you. It was amazing. Well, you can train yourself to do the same. That's what we're doing. So, step number 2. Train yourself to be as present as possible, focusing mainly on what you perceive with your senses. Hello, Marina. Ciao, Marina Marini. I love you. Me and Marina, we've been friends for years, and we lived together for, how long, Marina? 2 years in Streatham, many years ago. Now, let's go to, why the comments have gone. Please, somebody write something, because I can see the comments. I hope I didn't do anything wrong. Now, Evelyn, if you are willing, whenever you want to come in, if you want to come in for 2 minutes, for 10 minutes, or for whatever, let me know, and you can come in anytime. Yes. So, step number 3. Step number 3, listen And here you are, Evelyn. Let me teletransport you here with me. Yeah. There you are. Hello, beautiful. How are you?
Hello, my friend.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Do you know, I just came on whenever you're saying about being worried or being afraid. And
Yeah.
as I was coming down to my studio to get linked up, this was sitting out the door. So I was going, thank you. So it's about if you had any worries or troubles or fears. I always like to know that I always believe anyway, regardless, I don't need a feather. But it's nice whenever the signs come in a form that we
Yes.
hear your troubles or worries. Don't worry, you're always guided and walked with. So there we go,
Fantastic.
Luca.
Wonderful. You came right at the right time. Yes, I was going through I call this in many ways. Today the title is the well-being formula, but in the past I called it the well-being recipe, the well-being prescription. They're just basically 10 points that I believe that we put them into practice, they can enhance the quality of our life. So unless you weren't here, the first one is simply to choose and declare that our emotional serenity and our physical well-being are the most important thing. Sometimes I think people don't live as happily as they would like because they haven't decided, they haven't chosen intentionally that their well-being and their inner serenity, it's important to them. So that's why I'm inviting everybody to do that right here, right now.
And you're a prime
And
example of that.
thank you.
You know, sometimes you don't even have to have words. You definitely are a man that walks your talk. It's easy, it's effortless. And even though when I first saw you on, you were speaking Italian, so I may not understand what you're saying, but it's easy. It's so easy for me to feel, or just to hear you, and I can feel what you're saying without understanding the words.
Oh, thank you. Okay, now I'll just be going blah 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 blah.
It's whenever we were growing up at home, whenever visitors would come in, it was good manners to turn the TV down. And
Yes.
we got used to actually watching the television with no volume. And then when people would come in, they would say, any chance you could turn the volume up? We were just sitting looking at the TV. And so I'm used to it. You can just sit there and go, I love it.
Fantastic. Beautiful. So, where was I? Oh, yes. I just wanted to tell you that the point number 2 is, and by the way, anybody that is listening, if you write something, because I touch the screen and I can't see any comments anymore, but I don't know if I disabled something or what. I don't know how to touch anything anymore.
Your comments are still there, I think. I think
Okay.
I've seen some coming up.
Yeah, I don't see them anymore. Well, I don't know where to touch. But anyway, so the second point says, train yourself to be as present as possible, focusing mainly on what you perceive with your physical senses. We've done this before also with you, I think. It's simply just to be more conscious of what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we taste, what we smell, instead of being in our thinking. Mm-hmm. And then the third point is observe and listen others and life as if it was the first and the last time you're doing it. This is so simple that doesn't need any explanation, because that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. Sometimes we take for granted moments and people, especially. I used to do it so much, like especially family members. You think, oh, here we go. I know what he's saying, what she's saying, and blah, blah, blah. And I wouldn't even listen. Do you know what I mean? And then the same script I was going through my head and we weren't even communicating. But now it's a different game. It's like I'm present, I'm there, I'm listening. And maybe they say something that they've always said, but if I create the space that they feel heard, everything changes. And also because it could really be the last time we spend that time together. What do you think?
True. Absolutely true. And I think tonight, I had a sister that called in, and it's been a while. It's not that we don't see each other, but because if I'm doing something or she's doing something, and a lot of the times, even though we're family, sometimes we believe we don't have a lot in common with our brothers or sisters. And I used to say when I was younger, or that there wasn't a nerve ending my sister could not get on me. But that was all down to me. So tonight, you know what I mean? So as you grow up and older, so She's in there tonight and had food. I says, have your food, there's a movie, watch a movie, I'll go down and do this live. And just to sit, because I'm in a more calmer, peaceful space of not having to judge what anybody wishes to say. And I'm very happy when I can sit in silence, even in company. And I think it just takes other people a little while to be happy in silence, in company. Sometimes people like to talk a lot, but again, it's me that has to learn through it all.
Yes, you're right. That's what we do. But yes, we it's something that we learn. That's why I wanted to create 10 steps, which at the beginning it might seem like only a intellectual exercise, but it's not. You have to learn. First, you open yourself up to the possibility that you can be present, and then baby step, you're there, and yes, you think, okay, instead of saying something, I just keep quiet and listen. And it's not always easy, but with time, it is amazing, isn't it? And you see probably also the relationship, especially with families, how they can change when we are more there with them. It's just, you see somebody that you never even thought they were. It's like, I didn't know you.
Yeah. And it's always time. And so I believe today was a lovely time for her to call in. Today I was in a lovely, peaceful state. So probably the universal energy is like, don't go to Evelyn today. She's not ready yet. She's just not ready yet.
But you know what I think? But this totally, like everything, a thought that popped in my mind now. You see, you are living the life you want. Well, you even wrote a book about it, and you want to live effortlessly. So yes, what you said it lightheartedly, but I truly think there's a lot of wisdom and truth in that. The universe, yes, it knows that you want to live. Your standard has to be of a certain kind, like everything has to be flowing and effortless. So you're right. Probably your sister had the impulse, the nudge, the instinct, the intuition to come to you when you're ready for her.
Yeah.
When
isn't it like everything in life where we believe we're ready?
Yes.
But we're not. You know, that's where we get impatient, waiting on something, or take offense. Why did they not call in to see me? Why did they not visit me? Why did they not ring me? You weren't ready.
Exactly. If it hadn't been appropriate, it would have happened. Otherwise, it doesn't. By the way, anybody, please write a comment if you can. Anything, just hello or whatever, because I don't have any more comments.
Did you swipe your screen over, or you're not on your iPad?
No, I'm on my iPhone. I just wouldn't like people writing in, and I can't.
Well, there was a comment there. There was a comment that came up there. It was Una O'Keefe. Do you want me to read out your comments?
Yeah, because I can't see any. I don't know what I've done.
Okay. Una O'Keefe said, yes, I agree. The relationship I have had in the past with my husband was always in judgment, and now I just love him for who he is.
Fantastic. Yes. You probably have practiced presence and allowed him to be without being in your head, and you were right here, right now. Beautiful. Step number 4.
Okay.
Do everything intentionally without expectations, just for the pleasure of doing it. I repeat, do everything intentionally without expectations, just for the pleasure of doing it. And I truly believe that kids have got a lot to teach us about it. And I believe that this is the key to success. We've already succeeded when whatever we are doing, we just do it for the pleasure of it. Right? Without expectation, not because we want to win or forget it. I mean, if I had my saying, I would take away winning and losing in games. So yesterday, competitiveness, but that's another story. But anyway, if you do something because you enjoy doing it, you have already won. Because let's think about this. Even if at the end you lose, you have enjoyed so much all the training and all the game that at the end, yeah, of course, you think, okay, I lost. But hey, if I have trained and I don't even like what I'm doing, and many people live that life like that, and Evelyn, you probably meet many as well. And then only because they succeeded, they won, for that 5 minutes of glory, they have sacrificed maybe weeks or months of their life, and they believe because, no pain, no gain and all that banana. I'm here to say just enjoy. Who cares about? What would you say anyway?
Well, 100% correct. I'm going to try to omit the word absolutely for this week anyway, because every other word I'm saying is absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, I see this with clients or ladies that I'm working with that want to lose weight, where they attach what it is when they go out for the walk, when they get on the treadmill. It's I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, and it's not happening. And you'll find it's the same quite a lot for people in different things. I want a baby, and they keep trying and trying and trying, and it's very difficult then. And for that, and the same even if anybody's looking at a relationship. When you do something simply because, look, I'm just doing this for the joy, for the pleasure, for the love of it, you'll see how everything else comes on. You're actually pushing away that what you do wish to bring into your life because you have that attachment on it.
Yes.
And when you let go, you just see how that happens. There was ladies that I was working with on a confidence course the last Thursday night, and I said tonight is about joy and fun, and we played this silly game. You know, these ladies didn't even know each other, but we done it and we all sat and laughed, you know, from that. But it was a way of gaining confidence that we could laugh at ourselves, laugh at the silliness, laugh at the situation without thinking, am I getting confident? And through that, then one of the ladies was able to come on. She just pushed the button and came on live with me on Facebook. Somebody that didn't have confidence a few weeks ago would never have dreamed of it. But when we bring joy and fun, even in learning, even if it's technology you want to learn about, anything, when there's a bit of a laugh or joy or fun, or let's see how this goes, it all works out much better.
Yes. Well, I'll say it for you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
No,
because
no,
it was like...
no, but you know, it's absolutely true. They've done many experiments where we know that if you want to learn something and if you want to learn it quick, be in a state of joy. Enjoy yourself. If we're worried, our mind doesn't work as good as it works when we are at peace. So yes, absolutely. Fun is the key of learning and growing. Definitely, definitely.
I've had to put in songs to learn Spanish.
Yes. Yeah.
De tres de mí, delante de mí, de... I don't even know. You know what it was like? So if somebody asks me how do I say it to the right, I'll probably say it in song.
Wonderful. Evelyn, would you do me a favor? Because I can't read the comments and I want to interact.
I know you like to do this. Okay. So Martina, now this is me trying to pronounce the Italian names, okay? So we've got Martina del Gaudio.
Marina, she's a lovely
Marina, okay, so you know Marina.
Share a flight together, yeah.
So Marina said, so true, our experiences cause us pain, our own experiences cause us pain. Can you recap 2 and 3 at some point?
Sure.
And Marella said... Mariella.
That's good.
Mariella.
Italian as
well.
When
I go to Italy, you'll have to teach me now. Mariella said, I just use a slogan. The title is the smile in your faces. Do you agree?
Ah, the smile is in your faces. That's beautiful. I like that. Yeah.
So Natasha, oh geez, I do apologize, guys, for getting all these names incorrect. Sorry, it's not Natasha, but it looks like Natasha. She says, so let's have fun. And Marella says again, we must live our lives without any expectations. The good, the beautiful will come.
Yes.
Thank you for your comments. Keep them coming.
I totally agree. Thank you. Yeah, I love to read the comments. Because I was telling them, well, now you are here, so it is alive anyway in itself, but I really like to be interactive with who is watching. I like the live when there is interaction. If I'm on my own, if people don't write anything, very hardly ever happens. But after a while, I think, is anybody ever interested in what I say? But if there's a question or a comment,
that would be that ego part of you.
Oh, definitely.
Does your ego come in Italian then or English?
It depends which language I'm thinking at, but probably in Italian. Yes. But yes, my ego goes, are they getting bored? But if they ask something, I'm engaged, then I come alive. then it's a lie. So quickly recap. Point number 2 is it was train yourself to be as present as possible, focusing on what you perceive with your physical senses. That's number 2. Number 3 is listen and observe others in life as if it was the first and the last time you're doing it. And 4 was this one: do everything intentionally without expectations, just for the pleasure of doing it. By the way, if you go into my if you YouTube Luca Occelli on my channel, there's a video. It's very short. It's called the WellBeing recipe. You can even download the WellBeing formula. But at the end of the live, I will copy it and paste it. I'll put it in a comment right here, right now. So you don't even have to do that if you don't want to.
Aurelia says, I really love you too, laugh. I'm going to, because if I don't get the comments when they're down here, I'm up here trying to look through these glasses. And yeah, so Marina says, cool, I got it. Thanks a million.
Thank you, Marina. Number five, learn how to discern and stop judging. In other words, learn how to discern and stop judging. Instead of asking yourself the question that I bet we've been all trained to ask ourselves, which is this right or wrong? Good or bad? Which question, by the way, it was we learned from others, and good or bad, right or wrong, most of the time we were taught about what is good and what is wrong. So if you really like to ask yourself the question and be cerebral and neurotic, like I've been most of my life, keep on asking yourself the question and don't ask anything else. I would advise you then that, as well as that question, ask yourself this question: how do I feel about this? How do I feel? And then check in your body. Do I like it? Do I like it or not? And then make an appropriate decision. Can you see the difference between is it right or wrong, purely mental, or how do I feel about it? Your being is more in it, is more in the game, it's playing there, it's in your body. Your body knows the truth. Is your barometer about, do I like this? I go towards it. I don't like it. I move away. Simple, 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 simple. What would you say, Evelyn?
Well, I kind of experienced something like this myself last night on a decision, on a choice. Sometimes I just act impulsively on something. And I says, just do it. However, before I did it, there was something then that started firing off in my stomach, just, I didn't know whether it was excitement or nerves. But again, the same thing I said and asked myself the question, Evelyn, why are you feeling like this?
Yeah.
And there was one question was coming to mind to ask the person that I was going to do something with. And I said to myself, if you feel that you have to ask that question, you know what your answer is before you even do it. If you even have to ask that question, don't do it. So that's because my stomach, or I didn't know whether it was excitement or nerves, but it was nerves more to the point. So yeah, it wasn't to work out anyway as it happened, but my body was firing every road and direction to let me know. If my head hurts, I know that I'm thinking about it too much.
Yes. It's great what you say. And it's actually like that. It's like almost, if you have to ask yourself if you're in love, are you in love?
Well, no, it wasn't about that.
Do I love this? I mean, hello, if you do it. But yeah, but it's a training as well, isn't it? You really learn how to really differentiate and discern again about what is your inner truth, because we are so bombarding about you should be doing this, you should like that, you should not do that, you should not like that. I mean, easier said than done, as everything.
There's a comment come in there. Would you like me to read it out to you, sir?
Absolutely, thank you, yes.
Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I'm hitting on things here. Okay. Now, here's me. It's because the light background,
Yeah.
I need big writing. Yes. When I stopped judging my family and friends, my life changed. We had our first get together, come on, comments, last Sunday as a family. unit for my daughter's confirmation, and for the first time in 3 years we were reunited just because I stopped judging. That's from Una.
Wow, beautiful.
See, I can
Yeah.
pronounce that name.
Yes, Nina, fantastic. And yes, that's exactly as it is. We come together when we don't judge. Judgment closes us and cages us first and others. Because when we judge, we are emanating the last sentence, and the case is closed. Because you are, I don't know, terrible. Case is closed. We are closed. Separation. If we don't judge, we're open. The space between us is beautiful. Let's do it. Number 6.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Go ahead. I'm looking at these things, so I'm not
Thank
behind for you.
No. Be the source of what you would like to receive from others. I repeat, be the source of what you would like to receive from others. I have heard many, many times, and then again, I was one of them, so I'm not putting the finger on anybody, but sometimes we complain, we say, oh, because she never calls me. She never looks for me, to give you an example. She or he never does that. And then, if I'm talking to somebody that says that, I ask, but do you actually do that? And I go, oh, why should I? But I say that, but I've been there. I've been there thinking, she should be calling, she should be doing, he should be doing, she should be calling. But if I am not the first one to do that, if I'm not the source, it's very unlikely that I receive what I want. But the magic is that if I become the source of what I think, because it's all an illusion, or what I deluded myself to feel, to think that I need to be well, I don't even need it anymore. In other words, if I want Evelyn to be kind to me, and I'm waiting there, she has to be kind. She has to.
No chance.
No chance. You see, but the moment that I actually am kind to her and nice and non-judgmental, you know what? It's amazing. What I needed from her, even if she doesn't give it to me, it's okay, because I'm the source of it. I own it. I've got it. And that's the magic of life. We have everything inside. But it's foolishly, we are trained to believe that we need things from outside to fill ourselves. But if we only wait them from the outside, and if we are not willing to give them out, we wouldn't appreciate them. Anyway.
Absolutely. Oh, I said that word.
But you know what? I can totally understand you. Sometimes, after the live, I put the recording on while I look at the comments, and I hear myself, and sometimes I can, my English, it's not great anyway, but even in Italian sometimes, and I say, oh, today was the maybe I repeat one word over and over again, and I'm thinking, holy sugar. Yeah, so I totally understand. But anyway, so.
Well, you're spot on. That's, and it's like, be the change that you wish to see. That quote, isn't it?
Exactly. It is exactly it.
And that's how manifestation, that's how everything works. And that's how effortless things are. They really, really are simple. Say, for example, if people are looking a foreign holiday or looking to go some road, create that today, or if as you said earlier on, to see things for the first time. When I awakened to my home this morning, imagine if this is the first time, because that's the feeling we feel when we're away on holidays, that we wake up somewhere new.
Yes.
That I can see what I see, and those things will all come about, but you've already experienced it.
Yes.
And felt it before it took place. But what is the feeling that I desire, or that I believe that these things will bring to me? Oh my God, you could just have it. Like the amount of mornings I've got up and seen more things out that window that aren't there. But that feeling. Anytime. And that's what because we are the ball of energy. We are life. We all are life. And we're just going to receive back what we're transmitting out. So that's how simple it is. Be that yourself. Let go of judgment. Let go of yourself. Questioning why and when, and that takes a wee while to get used to that now, but I'm happy enough with it. I know it'll arrive when it's meant to.
Yes, thank you. Number 7, ask yourself questions. without thinking you have to know the answers, you will find them. Ask yourself questions. Without thinking you have to know the answers, you will find them. All the people that they have reached everything they dreamed and even more in life, and I'm talking about, I mentioned this because we all know them, like geniuses like Einstein, Steve Jobs, Freud, or whatever else. They are people that's one thing they do that most of the people don't do. They ask themselves questions, and they have got no fear of saying to themselves and to the world, and especially a scientist, I don't know. I don't know, but I want to know more. But normally we are trained to believe, because of the school system and so on and so forth, that if we say, I don't know, it's almost as if we lose everything we know. It's not true. Everything we know stays there, but we're open to know more. The moment we say, I know, or we come out with an answer, we are closed. We are not ready to receive more information. So the invitation is ask yourself questions. And then just formulate the questions and leave it there. Don't look for the answer in your head. Look it in life. What would you say, Evelyn?
I could have three-way conversations in my head, in my house, any day of the week. If there's something, it's a curiosity. It's a remembering. I wonder what that was like, or to remember back. In logical, linear sense about knowing something, it's what stops us from achieving things or doing things in our life, because we need to know how to do it all. Yeah. The way that I see things is I'll do what I know what to do in any given moment. And if I can't do it, I don't have to do it all by myself. That's why all these gifted people are in the world.
Yeah.
And I always affirm that the right people come to me at the right time at any given thing. With the book, there was the right person came along, run your eye over that and edited. The publisher, he knows his job, he loves his job. And that's why I believe the blessings of where people come from passion, and it flows. Yes. So we don't need to know everything. Imagine if you did know everything.
Be boring in a way, isn't it? It's like going to a movie when you already know everything. It's like, why would...
What would excite you?
Yeah.
What would you laugh at? Because you'd say, I already know the joke.
Yes. Yeah. If you know the punchline, why would you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you want me to check to see if you have any more comments?
Oh, yes, please. Please.
Okay. I absolutely love number 6. That was from Natasha.
Learn how to discern and stop judging.
And she says, oh God, this keeps moving up and down. Sorry. Or your cabin crew. I don't know, that must have been in relation to something else. Or your cabin crew. And then Una says...
Marina, Marina, she used to work for British Airways.
Right, okay.
That's why they might know each other.
Right, okay. Una says, when I was out today, with my husband, I see he has God, much going on inside of him, and I just said to him, just simply let things go, and but he doesn't just get it yet. My wish for him and everyone is to have a beautiful feeling of letting things go.
Wonderful. Keep wishing that. Keep wishing that. There's power.
There's people looking up my nose when I'm reading these comments.
Yes, I am.
Sorry about that. Step away from the screen. Step away.
But it can't be, it's natural for it, because you go up and we can understand that.
Because is there that, or lift these glasses? Because I have to look, the lens is different at the bottom.
But
Jesus, the sweat's
I just wanted to say, don't, just a word of advice, don't push it on everybody. Like if people are not ready to let go, okay, you may annoy them, and I know about it. I've annoyed many people in the past. Although in yourself, in your heart, keep wishing that for them. Energetically, you are helping them out, and be aware that they are able to, and there will become a time when they will do it. So don't underestimate the power of trust.
Trust them that they'll make the right decisions, that they know at that given time.
Exactly. Thank you. Number 8. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I like it. So it gives the idea. Number 8 is cultivate gratitude. You will always have what you need. It goes without saying. I mean, Cultivate. Gratitude is the most powerful emotion to manifest whatever we want. If you want anything, give thanks even before. Imagine having it. Just feel it. I mean, we have an expert here. Let's see what she says.
Ah,
True.
I give thanks for this great man before he came about. Sure. Now, yeah, it's the that's the prayer. We always had a believing of the prayer. You know, when we prayed for my exam results, for a sick relative, for that, and we prayed from a place of that it was missing, from a place of lack. Yeah. And yes, common sense says, I wouldn't ask for something if I already had it. Why would I be asking if I already had it, you know? So it's not about the asking, it's giving the gratitude that I have received it, even though that it isn't just there, but the gratitude or thank you. And even today when I made myself my dinner, I was in the house on my own, and when I was putting I says, thank you, Evelyn, thank you. And I thanked myself, and I was like, you're welcome, thank you. You see what goes on in my house.
But you know what? The first relationship you have is with yourself. So love yourself, know thyself is the basis of awareness. So yeah. I know some people might say you're mad, but hey, let them think that.
I like it.
Yes.
I'm my own company and my best friend too. I keep myself right.
Wonderful.
Make myself laugh.
Thank you. Any comments?
Oh, right. Oh, goodness. Now, Marina. Oh, no, okay. Marina. Life doesn't bring things. I wanted a female lodger and could not find one for months. Considered renting the room on Airbnb. And then the sign was someone showed interest and committed to moving into it. Did that make sense?
Well, I understood that he didn't bring. She
wanted a female lodger, but she didn't get a female lodger. I take it.
Yes.
Do you know the outcome of that story? What happened?
No.
Okay.
No.
Has your telepathic thing not kicked in yet?
No. But I would imagine. But this is my question for Marina. But did you get at the end, even though you didn't get what you wanted mentally, did everything work out fine? That's my question mark. And as you think about the answer, and maybe you write it, let's go to, because we don't have that much time, but enough to cover number 9. No, 9, we need to do this. I can't even do numbers. Okay, 9. Remember that others meet you primarily, mainly to be recognized. I repeat, remember that others meet us primarily to be recognized. Do you know what? There is nothing that hurts the being or anybody as to be ignored. Think about it. In fact, we all know it, that the biggest, something that nobody can stand, the biggest, I'm looking for a word that I can't find now, the biggest nasty thing we could do to somebody is to blank them out, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? To deny their identity. So really remember, people, even just for a moment, and this is the invite, even when you are at a supermarket or a busy road, if you see somebody, even look them, even just for that fraction of a second, but really look at them with presence in their eyes, or tell them a word or whatever, you could be changing their lives. I'm not kidding. Some people sometimes commit suicide because they felt totally alone, and there's people that they've chosen not to do it because somebody else recognized them. And there are people out there that are lonely and they don't feel recognized by anybody. Seriously. What would you say, Evelyn?
Yes, certainly, Luca. And I see this with kids from primary school. Yeah. Where they have their wee, posses and they isolate kids. And it's very, very sad and things like that, where I normally get them into a group and say, now, how would you feel? Put them in other shoes and, and how people would feel like that. Yes, absolutely, to say hello. Some people are afraid to be the first one to speak. Yeah. They would rather somebody to speak to them. And as I had this in a discussion with someone during the week where they didn't feel confident or worthy of somebody stopping to say hello to them. And I says, if somebody did say hello, what would you say? I'd be like, God, that person actually took time. I says, so now can you transmit that and transfer that for it to come from you? how you may change their day. If they wish to speak, they can speak. If they don't, they don't. Just say hello.
Yes.
Hello doesn't cost nothing.
No, exactly. And it goes a long way to recognize
I think
somebody.
you got your answer for the lodger question.
Oh,
there.
yes.
What do we see? Let me see. Oh, there's a whole lot of stuff come in. Oh yeah, I just today got one confirmed. No, that's from Marina. That's I think.
Marina,
Oh, that
right.
is. It was Marina, wasn't it?
Marina, yes.
Yes,
the
yes.
lodger shift. Okay.
Okay, and so Marilla says our energy passes through our style of life, our comprehensive world. Yes, today, Marina says, today. This one is huge for me. When I feel ignored, it's so painful.
Yeah.
And a deep pain. Number 9 is very true. Morella says, give by the way you expect to receive. And Marina says, often it is my perception and not real, but sometimes in most painful relationships, that's what hurts the most. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, Luca, but that reminds me, that last comment, there was a woman that was married for many, many years. She did not want to leave her marriage because of a fear of being lonely. But she realized after many, many years, it's the loneliest existence that she's ever had in the marriage. And possibly because, do you know what I mean? So she didn't want to leave in case she was afraid to be lonely. And that's why people don't do stuff. So you can be alone and not be lonely. And you can be in company and be the loneliest ever.
Yes, that's yes, absolutely. It's true. It's regardless to if we're physically with somebody or not, we could feel very lonely. Absolutely. Yes. And somebody could feel physically alone and to feel a union with everyone. Yes, you're right. I mean, loneliness, it's not cured by a relationship. It's cured with presence. Presence, being one with life itself. Number 10, the last one. Cultivate interests. Something you love doing that satisfies you. Again, cultivate interests. Something you love doing that satisfies you. I wanted to bring this in because sometimes this is what is needed, especially if somebody is depressed. The antidote for depression is action, is an interest, is doing something. Maybe some people don't know what they are, but they start searching. But when you do something, when you cultivate something and you like doing, or you get satisfaction from, or if you go both combination, you have a passion and you're going to fly high. What do you think, Evelyn? It's important. It's important for our well-being.
Well, that's why I accepted your invitation to that barbecue on the nudist beach this weekend.
Yeah.
I waited till you were drinking your water to see what it's coming.
You want me to choke on the water?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that it's all about the fun and joy, isn't it? Really, to do what interests, and that's what do what makes your heart sing.
Absolutely.
Do what makes your heart sing. People always, I was told never to finish a chapter or a sentence of my book with a negative, where it was never die with your music in you. Yes. And I had to then change and leave it with the positive, to do what makes your heart sing.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Evelyn, for being here. Thank you for being with us. Well, definitely Marina. I think you're still on, and I can't remember the name of everybody.
Well, you have 6 people still there.
Wonderful. And thank you to whoever is going to be watching this. We love you very much, and we're going to be seeing each other next Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about the importance of family and harmony.
Thank you, Luca.
Thank you,
I don't know if I'll be looking back if I have to look at my own nose in this. Read your own comments from now on.
Ciao. Yeah, well, I don't know what I've done. I can't see anyone. Anyway.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.